everyone. Today we're going to talk about complementary angles. So complementary angles are angles whose sum is 90 degrees. So if we add both angles, they're going to come out 90. So these angles don't have to be adjacent. When we say adjacent, they don't have to be next to each other. So in this case right here, these two are adjacent angles. These two are non-adjacent. That means they're not next to each other because their vertices are not touching each other. So, but they can still be complementary. They don't have to be adjacent. So another indication that an angle is 90 degrees is a small square that we have over here in the corner that is telling us that it's 90, and that means it is complementary angle. So looking at this example right here, we're supposed to solve for x. So in this problem, we can set this up by adding x and 38. So that would be x plus 38, and that is equal to 90, since again this is complementary angle. So from here we subtract 38 from both sides, minus 38, and so we can cross the 38 out, and so we're left with x is equal to 52. And that makes sense because if we add 52 and 38, no, that's 52. So 52 and 38, that would be 90. Now, at this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own. And when you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, let's go over the problem here. So again, it's pretty much the same thing as this. So you can write any of these first. It doesn't really matter. So let's write 34 first. So 34 plus x equals 90, because again, this is complementary. It says here that these two angles below are complementary angles. So that means if we add both of them, it will have a total of 90. So I subtract 34 from both sides, minus 34 here. And so we can cross the 34 out. And so x then is equal to 90 minus 34 is 56 degrees. So this angle right here is 56. And so that makes sense because if we add 34 plus 56 is 90. Now let's take some problems that involve expressions. So instead of numbers in there, we have expressions. So this first one right here is an example. It's pretty much the same thing as what we did with the first one. All you need to do is to add them up and equal them to 90. So again, we have here small square. It's telling us that it's 90. So we can go ahead and say 5x plus 3 plus 32 is equal to 90. Okay. So then we can combine like terms. So I can combine the two constants here. That's 3 and 32. So this would come out 5x plus 35 is equal to 90. So from here, I'm going to subtract 35 from both sides, minus 35 here. So I can cross the 35 out. So I'm left with 5x is equal to 55. And so we divide both sides by 5. So I'm going to divide this by 5, divide this by 5 over here. So cross the 5 out. So then our x here is 11. So the x value that would make it equal to 90 is 11. In the problem right here, we're asked to find angle ABC. So that's ABC. So this corner right here, we know that's 32 right there, but we don't know what this is. So what are we going to do is we plug this 11 into the x and solve for this expression, and then, evaluate the expression, and then that would be the measure for this angle over here. So that would be 5 parentheses plus 3. Again, the x now becomes 11. So I put 11 over there. So 5 times 11 is 55 plus 3 would be 58. That makes sense because if I add 32 plus 58 is 90. So this one right here is 58 degrees. At this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own. And when you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, let's go over this. It's pretty much the same thing as this. We're just gonna add them all up together and equal them to 90. So that would be 3x plus 2 plus x plus 4 equals 90. So then we add these two x's right here, like terms. So that would be 4x. And then we combine the other constants here. I'm going to use triangle for it. So that is 2 plus 4 is 6. So that's 4x plus 6 equals 90. And then I subtract 6 from both sides, minus 6 here and minus 6 on the 90. So this is going to get crossed out. So 4x is equal to 84. And so I divide both sides by 4, divide this by 4. So then I cross the 4 out. So the x here is 21. Did you get the same value of x over here? Good. Perfect. Now let's find the value for HKL. So H, K, and L. So this angle right here. So what are we going to do is we plug this 21 into the x. So this becomes 3 parentheses plus 2. And then the x now becomes 21. So I'll write 21 over there. So 3 times 21 is 63. Plus 2 is 65. So this angle right here is 65. So I can change this to 65 degrees. Now we're asked to find for LKT. So that would be 21. So we plug in the x, which is 21. And then plus 4 is 25. So this angle right here is 25. Did you get 65 and 25 as the angles for the as the measure for these two angles? Good. Perfect. If you find this video helpful, hit like and subscribe for more math videos. See ya!